So we're debuting a new segment here on Seahawks Forever. Momentum Mondays. Won't always be on a Monday. Sometimes it'll be on a Friday or a Tuesday, depending on what day they play, obviously, but it'll be the day after. And what this does, I'm going to handpick 3 plays from each game that I believe are building blocks, something to build on, win or lose, something to take away from the game that could be a core piece of this team moving forward. Defense, offense, special teams could come from anywhere. I've got 3 plays coming up for you today in the debut of Momentum Monday. Up next on Seahawks Forever. Let's do it.
Welcome to the Seahawks Forever podcast. In-depth analysis on everything Seahawks. And now, here's your host, Dan Viens.
Be sure to take advantage of the Red Hot Sales event on omahasteaks.com. 50% off their most popular variety packs, plus an additional $35 off for being a fan of this program using the promo code FOREVER at omahasteaks.com. All their steaks are USDA certified, individually cryo-packed, delivered to your door. They've been a staple of the Viens family ever since I was a child. Even last year, my older brother sent me a big case of steaks unannounced. Didn't know it was coming for my birthday. Just opened my door one day, and there was a big, giant box of steaks delivered, refrigerated, cold to your door. And they don't just do steaks, delicious, mouth-watering burgers, franks, chicken products, even desserts. Check it out at omahasteaks.com. 50% off their most popular variety packs, plus an additional $35 off using the promo code FOREVER at checkout. Some news to get to from around the NFC West. Still waiting. I think Mike McDonald has spoken on his radio show by now as I record this on East Coast time. I'll check that out after we're done here. And if there's anything I think needs to be reacted to, I will certainly do that on all the channels later on. But some news from the NFC West, especially regarding the Arizona Cardinals, who the Seahawks are going to play now just 9 days from now, 10 days from now, however you want to count the calendar, on Thursday Night Football in Arizona next week. Of course, they host the Saints at home this week. But the Cardinals, who already, before the season started, lost 2 of their best defensive backs to the injured reserve list, lost their 3 starters in that game yesterday against Carolina. Had the big lead. The Panthers almost came back and won that one. Big play at the end. Calais Campbell with the sack to seal it. But all 3 of their starting corners, and the most serious one might be Max Melton. We might get some clarification on that by the time you're watching this. He had to be carted off with a knee injury yesterday and tweeted the always ominous pray emoji, which is usually not a good thing when a player sends that out after being carted off the field. Garrett Williams, also their outstanding slot corner, had to be helped off by multiple staffers with a leg injury as well. And then their outstanding rookie, who had such a great debut week 1, Will Johnson out of Michigan, left the game in the 4th quarter with a groin injury. We don't know the severity of that, but we'll get updates on that as we get into the day. Before we get into this, subscribe to the channel. If you would, please hit that bell for notifications. Check out the Substack, still free. It's going to be indefinitely moving forward. And then before I turn on subscriptions, I'm going to be writing a piece and posting it there later today. Also, the Patreon, where there's some exclusive bonus content. And you get a chance to watch any of these videos. All the content that I produce, I put there. And you don't have to watch the YouTube inserted ads. Obviously, the live ad reads, I can't do anything about those. But you can get those, and the audio podcasts are there, ad-free, and bonus material, including the Hawks Film Lab, which Bryce Coots and I are going to be shooting tomorrow. I'll be releasing that to members only on Wednesday. I think we're going to take a look at the running game and Ken Walker's carries kind of versus Zach Charbonnet's. And then also coming up later this week, really excited to have Coach Derek from ALL-22 Films going to be joining me for the first time. We're going to talk about the Seattle secondary, how well they were able to cover yesterday, even without Devin Witherspoon and Darian Kendrick playing just 2 weeks after he joined the team and playing so well. Obviously had that end zone interception. And then Sanjit T is going to be joining me from the Football Scout channel to talk about the performance of the Seahawks offensive line, in particular the left side, which, hint, hint, we might be getting into here in just a moment. All right, let's do this. You always know when the glasses go on, it's time to do something kind of visual. So again, Momentum Mondays, 3 plays from each game, win or lose, that I think are positive signs moving forward, building blocks to base the defense or the offense around. And we're going to start here. We're going to go to the fourth quarter, right? Start of the fourth quarter. This game was tied 14-14. And I think at that point, it seems like from talking to you guys on the live reaction show yesterday and then engaging with you on Twitter, that everyone sort of had the same vibe during this game. That couple of wacky plays early on, the first interception by Sam Darnold, I chalk up. It's just a great play by Jalen Ramsey, one of the best cornerbacks we've seen in this league, in the last 7 or 8 years. Still has it. Obviously, read that ball, broke on it, knows that that's a bread and butter route in that offense and a core concept, and something Sam throws really, really well with timing. So I give credit to Jalen Ramsey on that play. Those things are going to happen when you go against good players. Good players are going to make good plays. The second one was just a fluky thing with, the ball gets batted in the air. But we start the quarter 14-14. We all just, I think, felt like if they can just get a lead, the defense is going to take care of this football game, right? So it's 3rd and 1. You would expect them to run the football here, right? No, they throw it, and they throw it well. And he hits Cooper Kupp for a big 13-yard gain for the first down. But there's a little bit more to this than just kind of a simple little in-breaking, little dig concept. First of all, let's talk about Kupp. His contributions yesterday, right? After a week one where it wasn't targeted that often, had the 3 catches, didn't really have a lot of impact, came up short on 1 third down catch and then dropped the other one that would have been a sure first down. And so those questions that were kind of quiet heading into the season, even locally, maybe a little bit of doubt from Seahawk fans on what he had left in the tank. I think he shows on this play, still able to settle, still got the great body control, able to use just, leverage and get separation and get himself open. So from that aspect, let's just look at it again. So that's one part of this play. Now, watch Sam Darnold when I play this back again. Watch his head. I mean, what is Kupp, the third read? I mean, the first place he's looking. Let's do this again. Let's go back to the beginning. He goes wide. He's looking JSN right here against Ramsey. Okay, he obviously comes off that really quick. Then he comes back to the middle of the field, and he's got Torrey Horton there running a flag route, but he's covered. So that's a great read. He comes back. Kupp is the third read on this play, and he's able to get to it, make the throw for the first down to start the fourth quarter. Huge. Let's watch it from the end zone. Because there's something else I like about this throw. You might look at it when you're watching it live, you might think, that's behind him. That's a great catch by Kupp. I think he threw it there on purpose. Let's go back to the sideline again. You see the little graphic that I threw up there. I'm going to try to pause it right here. That's Chuck Clark, veteran safety, playing in deep coverage. And he realizes right here, he doesn't have to worry about anyone getting behind him because everyone's in front of him. He can see it all, playing that deep safety. So he recognizes this route coming at him, and he's going to try and break on it. And so I think right here, look how much ground he makes up. I mean, it's a hell of a job by him coming up and trying to impact the play. And if Darnold leads him, he might run Kupp right into a medicine ball, right into a massive hit from Chuck Clark. I think he throws it behind him on purpose, and he trusts Cooper Kupp. He knows. He knows the skill set. Even before he got to work with him here in Seattle, he saw it. And he knows that drops like last week are going to be rare, and he's going to make catches like this. He threw that ball there with a purpose. Here's the other thing I like about this play. Look at that pocket and the time that he was able to get. Almost, I mean, this is about 5 seconds of video here, and it starts right at the snap. So he's able to work through his full progressions, 4 or 5 seconds, get rid of that ball on a key third down, and make the completion and continue the drive. On the very next play, I know you've seen this, it got the Brian Baldinger treatment, the Robbie Utes double pancake. He takes out Peyton Wilson and he takes out Patrick Queen. We might be a little liberal calling the Queen play a pancake. Queen kind of just opted out of this play. We're going to watch this a few times. I mean, he robs Peyton Wilson's soul, and then Queen just doesn't want any part of it, right? Bam. Queen probably right here is thinking, okay, he's got Wilson's occupying him. I'm going to come over the top of it. But the momentum from Oots' block here carries him so far forward that Queen's just like, yeah, I'm out. 20-yard run for Ken Walker. What I really like about those two plays in context, back to back, you have a 3rd and 1 in a crucial part of the game. They needed to get points out of that drive and eat time off the clock. They come out on 3rd and 1. You're trying to be a team that runs. We've heard Mike McDonald say when teams expect us to run in those situations, we need to be a team that's able to move people and get those tough yards in tough times. But they come out and spread it out and throw the football. Then on the very next play, now you have a first down, some breathing room. You're on the 41. Well, now we're going to line up an I formation and run it down your throat. What did we hear about this Kubiak offense all offseason heading into the season? We heard Jake Bobo kind of wax philosophical about this the last week of training camp. Different plays out of the same look, same play out of different looks. Never know what's coming. They can run anything out of anything. And when this offense is humming, you never know what's coming at you. It's unpredictable. We don't know when they're going to run. They might run the football in passing downs, and they might throw it on running downs as they did there to Cup. Still, watching this makes me even a little more frustrated that we didn't see it week 1. Not sure what that was still. Didn't get any answers from Clint Kubiak in his 4.5-minute press conference he had last week. But the fact that they were able to show you both sides of their personality here on back-to-back plays in a big moment of the game, I thought showed me a lot from Clint Kubiak and what this team can become. Quick word about the Sleeper app. We've got 31 of you in the pick pool. The Seahawks Forever pick pool is part of the app. As you can see, another good week for me. I don't know what's going on, you guys. I was 11-5 last week. I don't pick games well. 12-2 this week, with tonight coming up, the double Monday night tilt. I've got the Bucs winning on the road at Houston. And then, sorry, Pete, I've got Pete Carroll and his Las Vegas Raiders losing in Carroll's home debut as Raiders head coach to the Chargers. I just like what I saw from Justin Herbert last week. Too much. And I think that's going to be a little too much for Geno Smith and the Raiders to handle. By the way, a big article came out, big piece in ESPN today, kind of diving into depth and getting some comments from Geno on why things went the way they did in Seattle. Can't wait to get into that. Probably will be reacting to that later today. Anyway, back to the Sleeper app. You want to play fantasy football, daily fantasy sports, games of skill. This is the place to do it. Somebody on Twitter last night was kind of complaining about how they couldn't find any way to track live games well. Can't remember which app they had an issue with. They were asking for recommendations. I said, you got to go to Sleeper, because if you don't have access to television and you just want to track a game on an app, play by play, absolute real time live game tracking, this is the way to do it. You can react to each play. You can chat about it with the community. This app is the #1 fastest growing sports app for a reason. And right now, if you want to play some of those games of skill, they will match your first deposit up to $100, 100% if you use the promo code FOREVER at checkout. That's terms and conditions apply, legal in 25 states. But the other games like the Pick'em League that we have, you can do those anywhere. Check out the Sleeper app today. All right, let's get back to this. We are going to finish this 3 impactful plays to build on from the game yesterday on Momentum Monday, and we're going to do it with the play that called ball game. Kenneth Walker, the 19-yard run on third and goal from the 19 that really iced this and put it away. In between those first 2 plays and the one that we're going to look at here, of course, was the George Holani fumble recovery in the end zone, so it's 24-14. This is really the one that iced it. And even on this drive, like, we all just wanted to see them eat some clock. Even a field goal would have iced this game, given them a 2-score lead. The way that defense is playing, there was no way with the pressure they were putting on Aaron Rodgers. Basically, DK had the 2-yard touchdown, eliminated the wide receivers from this game. Can't wait to talk to Derek about that later in the week. But this is the final play, and there's something more to this. Again, a lot of layers here. The first thing is obvious. Are we starting to see a version of Ken Walker that fits this offense better maybe than we thought. What was a lot of the discussion last week? Should Zach Charbonnet be the lead back and Ken Walker the change of pace back? I said it should be. I'm certainly less certain now, if that's even a saying. This doesn't look like, these aren't the dynamic cuts we're used to seeing from Ken Walker. He's not juking guys, but there's instincts and feel at play here. You're going to see even more on the sideline angle I'm going to show you in a bit. He's reading his blocks and taking what the defense gives him. And this is one of those plays that, when it started to develop, you thought, oh, shoot, he's going to make this a lot easier on Jason Myers. Oh, wait, he's still going? Oh, shit, he's going to score and call ball game. Let's look at it again. Because then I want to get into some really fun stuff here that's happening elsewhere. So, great job by Kenneth Walker. But watch this. We're going to look at it from the sideline angle here in a second. When you do, there's Charles Cross way out in front, leading the way, taking out his guy. And now look ahead of him at Gray Zabel. Remember, this play started at the 19-yard line. So Zabel's 10 yards down the field there, and he's going to get even farther down the field. But look where Ken Walker's head is. This is where the instincts, I think, he keeps doing this. I'm going to start building a lot more confidence in that part of his game. He knows Cross is taking his guy out. He doesn't have to worry about it. These two guys chasing him, TJ Watt being one of them, he knows he can outquick him. So he's already looking ahead. He's got Olu Oluwatimi out in front of him, but he's not going to need him because he sees Gray Zabel zeroing in on that safety. And watch it now from the sideline in regular speed. Zabel didn't have to do much, but he sure as heck finished this play. And Cross didn't either. He didn't obliterate the guy, but he kind of checked out too. Pulled a Patrick Queen here. He's just like, nope. Don't want any part of that. And Zabel's guy kind of did the same thing. JSN's out there getting a shoulder on someone. It's a really good example of how you don't have to pancake your guy to have an effective block and end up winning a play. That's a lot of fun. And I think it shows that they have an ability to finish. How often did we complain during kind of that 2016 to 2020, 21, even the last couple of years? But it was one of my frustrations with Pete Carroll. Can you finish football games? I always talk about can't win a game in the first quarter, can only win it in the fourth. When you have an opportunity to put an opponent away, take it. Because you never know what's going to happen. Fluky things happen on kickoffs, right? Fluky turnovers happen, weird calls from the officials. You can never count on anything. One guy gets loose, a big play, and somebody misses a block or slips on the turf and goes 80 yards, and suddenly it flips the field. You've got a different ballgame. Put teams away. I think we've seen enough from Mike Macdonald, the way he talks and even how decisive he is in his personnel decisions and some of just the way he manages this team and the tone. I think that's very, very much his mindset. I think that's probably one core principle that he and Pete disagree on, that, look, we'd like to see this team start to get off to better starts and then build from there. I think Mike Macdonald very much would like to put some teams away in the first and second quarters. Outstanding game from Walker. This is the wrap-up from Sumer Sports. They've got him as their number one overall running back for good reason. 8.8 yards a carry, 8.08, 0.66 EPA per carry, almost a 70% success rate. So a rush EPA of almost 10. That's a full 3+ points higher than James Cook, the number 2 guy who had a big day. He had more yards and a touchdown, but on more carries. Just a very efficient day for Ken Walker. In contrast to Zach Charbonnet, who I think went 15 carries for 10 yards, I believe, is how he finished up. A lot of good stuff to take away from that game yesterday. And not the least of which is it came out of it healthy. A little scary moment in the fourth quarter when Jalen Sundell went down, the way his leg was kind of shaking and his ankle was turned. I thought, oh, geez, what did he do, right? Are they going to bring the card out? Turned out to be just a cramp. It was a hot, humid day there in Pittsburgh, just up the road from here. I can attest to that. And it took its toll on those guys. I think that's another thing that you have to be encouraged by is home opener for the Steelers. Electric atmosphere always is going to be in Pittsburgh. Hot, humid, 10 a.m. start, none of that mattered. Did you see the thing about how they kind of stole the Styx song Renegade from the Steelers, that's a tradition of theirs late in the game when they're trying to ice a game, put a game away, they play that, and it tells the crowd to wave your terrible towels. I'm not sure what the history is behind that song, why that song in particular. The Seahawks knew that. So Mike McDonald was playing that song in practice, and they were getting as hyped up, jumping around, dancing. Leonard Williams said after the game, he said, that's our song. We made that our song. Absolutely love that mentality. There are little things like that good football teams that all believe in each other and are aligned and are on the same page and love playing with and for each other do. And that some of that stuff, hearing some of that stuff excites me just as much as what we're seeing on the field. I'm already hearing, oh boy, trap game Sunday. You know, the Saints aren't very good, and they're coming in 0-2, and Spencer Rattler at quarterback, Kellen Moore as a young head coach in his first time, and they've had cap issues there, and so their depth isn't that great. I don't see it because I don't think, and you know, I understand the definition of trap game. I do, because you got a division game, Thursday Night Football at the Cardinals, 4 days after that. Maybe they're looking past, not this team, not the way they're wired. Mike McDonald's not going to allow that to happen. And I also think that I think some of the results, what we saw yesterday was you can draw a direct line from that back to the San Francisco game. And I talked about it all during the week last week, right? How cranky and pissed off Mike McDonald seemed. He was. He's not going to forget about that. I absolutely guarantee you that when they're practicing this week, they're going to still be working on some of the stuff that didn't work week one. Don't let that happen again. Let's take what we did in Pittsburgh and build on it, but also don't start feeling too good. It's only one game. We're still a game back in the division of everybody else. They're all 2-0. Let's go out and now take everything that we've learned the first 2 weeks, the good and the bad, and some of that frustration that we should be 2-0, and take it out on this New Orleans team and really operate the way we want to operate and do it in such a fashion that we get to 2-1, we take a step forward, so we go to Arizona feeling really good about ourselves with a chance to get back into this division race. Let me know in the comments down below how you like that. Momentum Monday, the 3 plays. That's a lot of fun. Have to manage some copyright issues. Took some tricks of the trade that some of the other creators, some of the other guys that have had success doing it have passed along to me. So fingers crossed, hope it works. If it doesn't, then only members will be able to see this. Screw that. I'll let everybody see it. It just won't be monetized. But it's an experiment that I'm excited to move forward with because I love doing this stuff. And now I'm going to dive into the full All-22 tapes. I'm ready to talk to Coach Derek from All-22 Films in a couple of days about the performance of the secondary. So check that out. Follow me on Twitter at Seahawks Forever. As always, check out the free Substack, free for now. I'll turn subscriptions on in a few weeks, but enjoy it in the meantime. Patreon is where you can get everything that I produce here. All my content shows up on Patreon, except you don't have the YouTube ads inserted. So you get that benefit, audio and video over there, but also some exclusive material, including Hawks Film Lab, which I'll be shooting with Bryce Coots tomorrow. We'll be recording that. We're going to take a look at the running game and Ken Walker's runs and why they worked so well versus some of Zach Charbonnet's runs and why those didn't work so well with the expertise of Bryce and his coaching background. So look forward to that. Subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notification. All the other ways you can support me as an independent full-time content creator are listed and linked down below in the description. Until next time, forever and always go Hawks. Thanks, you guys.